Hey guys, your girl Asia, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to The Flash. We are now on to episode 19, which is called Success is Assured. So that particular phrase has been what Eva and her minions have been saying since we got introduced to who Eva really was. And it seems to be the mantra that maybe is the only thing that's been keeping what's left of her sanity together in her big revenge plot against her husband. I'm ready to know what her endgame is or where she's going with all this so we can figure out where Team Flash is going to come in. And more importantly, when is she going to let Iris out? My lord, my poor girl's been in there for so long. And as we saw last episode, Iris is not doing well mentally and potentially physically. We already know that Eva has snapped. She's been snapped for a while. We do not need Iris to join her ranks. So I'm going to need for them to figure out a way to get Iris out of there. I will say though, they have brought up vibrations, and Cisco's former alter ego a lot in the past few episodes, and I'm scared to get my hopes up after what happened in Crisis, but I'm really hoping this means that they're thinking of bringing Vibe back and having Cisco somehow get his powers back. On to this episode, episode 19. Let's get it, guys, and we'll chat about it afterwards, okay? Let's go. Oh, she even has a superhero costume too? Really? Is that necessary?
We begin by dismantling everything that protects him. Success is assured.
See, I'm not mad at this because since Team Flash clearly couldn't even start to take down Black Hole, I'm actually okay with Eva doing it for them.
It's just Frost now. Hi. Okay,
This is awkward.
we're gonna leave you two alone.
We're gonna peace out.
Give us a call when you get settled in the north.
I see what they did there because they filmed this in Canada. It's the north, and never mind.
Find Black Hole, find Eva. Any idea where to start?
Actually, no.
Just have this massive diamond sitting in my pocket.
Where'd you get that? Sue gave it to me. She gave you it.
After she stole it.
Oh, yeah. This is a triangulation cartograph.
A what now?
It's a treasure map.
Treasure? Should you just be letting UV light out in the open, sir? I mean, like, ma'am, getting people cancer in the room and stuff.
Ginormous warehouse with 5 subterranean levels.
Beth and I'll check it out. You two take comps.
How do you find subterranean levels with a, what app is that? Where else, like, just in case I gotta pay rent. Just sorry.
Sue said that Carver was blackmailing her parents. This is bank statements, investment records.
Who prints things anymore?
Instead, he sold her tech to the highest bidder. For weapons, blackmail, or worse. That is why Carver is a dead man.
I'm okay with this. I haven't heard anything that's unacceptable yet.
What do we do now? The only thing we can. Protect Carver.
I have questions.
You're not here to slap me, are you? Captain West went for the left side.
Sir,
How is he, by the way?
do not try me.
Your wife was a problem. Her disappearance was fortuitous.
Do you see why you don't want to save this mofo?
Anything that happened, give Captain West my best.
I swear by the ugly ass hair on your head, I will stomp you out of existence, sir. Don't you ever put Joe West's name in your mouth again.
And what if Eva comes back? Then what?
Stop scratching your beautiful skin.
This place may be backwards, but oh, I thought breaking and entering was a line elongated man didn't cross.
Inside voices, please.
Okay, would you like us to start spilling the tea, sis? Because your parents are right there.
You torched the place?
No.
The way she was turned on by that, girl, bye. Eva just be sucking all these bad girls in. I like it. She's more effective than Team Flash in the first 5 minutes. Oh, this hurts.
Ultraviolet.
Sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service. So close to the window. You brave.
I'm glad someone believes me. I need your help after all.
No! We're closed!
The stoichiometric ratio is manifesting in a way that's abnormal.
Is that just a fancy way of saying she's pregnant? Because we already know that.
What is taking so long? Federal agents will be here.
Excuse me, this is not your personal concierge service. It's a public service called the police. Uh-oh.
Are we doing this or what?
Yes, actually take him, please. Please.
I'm gonna take this to hell.
Does that actually work? Well, this isn't the Barry Allen you know, sir. He's under a lot of stress lately. He needs his baby back, okay?
No time like the present?
God, he's such an ass. Like, I just want someone to smack the shit out of him. Can someone please do that?
Considering trading Carver's life to save Iris.
Yes.
Complicated. How is that different? Iris is my wife.
Yes.
I have to save her.
Mm-hmm. And worth of Iris versus worth of Carver? Y'all just be playing with Iris's life like it's nothing. Screw y'all. Ralph, stay on top.
Can we find out what happened to the power source?
We know what happened.
That's very smart, actually. Eva is thinking 10 steps ahead of you guys. Wait, how is she able to... There's no light in here. Ooh, that is a sweet upgrade in the suit. What the heck are they even doing at Star Labs? Wow, that animation with the page, it's like a literal comic book. Interesting. On second thought, die. Really? We have the Indiana Jones moment? All right. Okay, we're going back to this. Okay. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this camera work. I'm still processing.
Let's talk about that.
Now I was like, babe, can we go to counseling? We need to talk.
Goodbye, Joseph.
Death by 1,000 cuts. Oh, bear. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Ah. Peace out, jerk. Could you be gentle? Jeez.
As long as I go.
Wow. Did someone get a new app inside of the Flash head? Like, let's find out if we can use this new frame for everything. It's what you deserve. If you had just pieced out the way Ralph told you.
I promise I'll get these two back to you and your team as soon as possible.
Oh, you mean her and Frost. I thought you meant the babe.
We also have reinforcements.
Joe! Sorry. So loud. Miss you, boo! Yes, that hug's for all of us.
Barry wouldn't give up, and the woman that he married wouldn't either.
Holy frack, Iris, you can control this place.
Eva's back.
Iris?
Oh no.
Iris, stay with me.
Oh hell no, you better fix that. To be... Screw this show forever. No. Oh my gosh. Does that to be continued mean like when the show comes back? Oh my gosh. Y'all, this is not okay. No, this show is like on hiatus forever. No. Wow. Wow. This lighting makes me look like a ghost. I'm sorry. My natural lighting is fading really quickly. I don't know what's better. Do I look like a ghost right now? We'll leave it. Yeah, so that was the last episode of The Flash, which was called Success is Assured. And so, yes, plot movement, massive plot movement, actually, in the sense of what Eva has been planning all along. Her husband, Joseph, is gone. He gone. She made sure he died. She was like, I planned this for 6 years, Barry. I'm not gonna let you stop me right now, especially since the chances of her getting a second chance are gonna be very low. Joseph is gone, and honestly, he was such a prick. I'm sorry. Like, I know I said a few episodes ago that like we never got Joseph's side of the story, really, like how much of it was just Eva's perception or if Joseph went through other stuff. We never really heard that, but clearly he was just kind of the scapegoaty bad person of the season. He isn't even the really big bad in this season. It's Eva and blood work. A lot going on. In the end, yeah, he's gone now. Eva just feels like he should have worked harder to get her out. But what he said there was very poignant. about how the cognitive dissonance that Iris keeps talking about, and now Nash has brought it out, that, you know, Eva is not okay. We've seen this. She's clearly snapped at some point. Her mind is probably in all the pieces that we see. She wasn't wrong in what she said, in the sense of that Joseph did all the things that she just said. Like, it sounds like Eva was actually a very kind and benevolent person who was trying to better the world. And then Joseph took her stuff, sold her tech, weaponized it, basically looked for the quickest, dirtiest buck he could get, and he went into crime, which no one has to do. Although I'm very curious as to why he said I did what I had to. It just seems like, again, maybe he was always like that, but I just wonder if he wasn't that type of person, what would make him suddenly think he had to go to such lengths to either create or support Black Hole. And we never really got a explanation as to whether or not Joseph actually created Black Hole versus just was part of the machine of Black Hole. And Black Hole was apparently massive from what we heard earlier in the season when Iris was investigating them. So I feel like Joseph was just a cog in the wheel, and McCulloch just ended up being something that helped to support it. So anyways, maybe that's why he ended up having to do what he had to do, is because it turned out maybe Black Hole got something on him. Maybe Black Hole threatened him, his life. I don't know, but we'll never know, maybe. Or maybe we'll find out later on when Barry tries to take down Eva. But anyway, he's gone, and Eva, she accomplished what she wanted. She got her job back, and let's be real, I don't think Joseph was ever going to let her just walk back into life and the real world and work with him or work beside him. So I don't know that death was the right answer, but like I said, he was a prick. he was a real jerk. And right up to the end, like, he couldn't even he could even pretend to be somewhat benevolent with Team Flash when they were doing their best to save him. So I was like, you know what? Peace out. We don't need you in this world, sir. But as I mentioned, though, very frustrating. Eva has said on multiple accounts that she does not want to pick a fight with Team Flash. And it's true. She could have killed Barry already. She had the power to do it. She chose not to. She could have killed Team Flash with her minions if she wanted to. She didn't. So at the moment, she is being choosy about her targets. She's not just going out there and, you know, splaying out innocent people. But I just felt like in that moment, I know that Barry was frustrated because he wasn't able to stop her from killing Carver. But I just kept thinking, Iris is still in there. Like, she still has Iris and Camilla and Detective Singh. They are still there till she chooses to not have them there. So maybe throwing out threats is not the best thing. Like, maybe you could try to even pretend to make nice with her to see if you could get them out of the mirror dimension, and then you know what I mean? Like, Eva's potentially cracked enough to do that. Now, I don't think that's the case, honestly. I'm saying that because I'm saying just overall, I just felt like it was a moment he didn't need to say that. Like, he doesn't need to make an direct enemy out of Eva right now, just because she does hold all the cards with their loved ones. But I also know that, truthfully, I don't think she was ever planning on letting at least Iris go for now. Not when she knows that her husband is the one person that, if he finds his powers again, will be a formidable enemy for her. Things are getting a little bit dicey now because she's out. She's got 3 pretty powerful metas on her side right now. And I thought that was really cool that she said, like, they're here by choice. I didn't make mirror copies. This is them. And because they had a common enemy, and let's face it, girl power is good, they're standing behind Eva, and now they're there by choice, which is actually a far better motivator than being there because of blackmail. But also, as I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, obviously Cisco isn't in this episode. They explained last episode that he would be gone. They keep dropping these major hints around vibrations and, you know, all these things around, like vibes, basically. Vibes, vibrations, frequencies, etc. when it comes to Eva and these powers. So I have to keep believing that that means that I feel like Vibe's going to come back. I feel like one of the answers is going to have to be Vibe. Potentially they could bring back the Pied Piper guy, but I just feel like they just keep referring to it, and I feel like they're leading up to Cisco getting his powers back, and I'd be totally for that, because I do think that he is, like, just think about it. If Vibe was here, he could literally shatter all of the glass surfaces in the room in 1 second and render Eva not powerless, but at least less powerful than she currently is right now. And now that Team Flash is down to no metas, let's face it, right? Because Barry's losing his speed, Vibe is no more. And now Caitlin / Frost is, you know, gone until her health is fixed, aka, you know, Daniel being on mat leave. So there's no metas in Team Flash now. Team Flash is 100% human, and that's all well and good except for the fact that the show is The Flash. It's called The Flash, and there's no Flash. There's no Kid Flash, there's no Jesse Quick, there's no Flash, there's no metas in Team Flash. So something's gotta give. Somebody gotta get some powers real quick. I'm really hoping that does mean that we're gonna get Vibe back. I like I said, I feel like the biggest mistake, one of the biggest mistakes the show has made, was having Cisco decide to give up his powers. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, obviously they've got to figure out this Speed Force thing, but apparently that's why Cisco is gone. So it'll be great to figure out once Barry can get his speed back and deal with this situation, and also figure out who the heck is sending all these fake Godspeeds. And as I said, I don't know what happened to my girl Iris at the end there. I don't know if she's become one with the Mirrorverse or what, but obviously I'm scared. She's been in there the longest, as we know. She's acclimated the most, and I think being in proximity with Eva as long as she was is why she's so deeply affected by it, versus Camilla, who's been there, I don't know what the show said 5 weeks last week, so I think we could say that Iris is there for like the first 2 weeks and Camilla's been there for like the last, you know, 3 or so weeks. So effectively Camilla should be showing signs, but the fact that she isn't says that something about Iris, I mean, the fact that she's also been working so hard to acclimate, actually to help herself, probably turned out to be a bad thing when she found out too late. But yeah, I'm worried. I'm wondering what happened to her. She better come back. That kind of actually brings back the conversation I just thought I wanted to talk about really briefly, where Nash said he took Barry out of the station with Mirror Singh and everything, and he said the reason he did it was because Barry looked like he was considering Eva's proposal of Joseph for Iris. And to me, it just made me a little upset that he's like, oh, how would Iris feel? Or, you know, is this really what the Flash would do? And it's kind of like, but this is a different situation. Like, I feel like it was they made it look very close-minded in that conversation. And they also made it seem like that would be such a terrible thing. And I understand in the deepest sense of superhero-ness, you don't want to, you know, do something that's self-serving. You know, that's not what heroes are supposed to do, is do something that's purely for self. But Barry is losing his powers. At this point, he knows he may lose all of his speed, and that he doesn't know if he'll even get it back. He knows that Iris has been trapped in this place. He now found out that she's probably, what we now know she is, suffering mentally and emotionally and physically from being there. And this man, I mean, Joseph Carver was an ass. Like, there was nothing about this man at this point that was redeemable outside of the fact that he was a person. That's it, right? So I don't think it was such a crazy thing in that moment, considering the situation, for Barry to be like, maybe I should get my wife out of there, get her to safety, and then at least I won't have that worry on top of everything else, so I can focus more on taking Eva down. Again, I do understand the higher moral superhero message that was being given there, but I didn't like the way that conversation sounded. Like, of course, like, Iris should mean more to Barry. Of course he's going to consider protecting his wife over all else. Why shouldn't he? Why? Anybody else would have done it and they would have been like, yeah, you did what you had to do. But now, because it's Barry, he's not allowed to think that maybe I want my wife to be okay. I want to protect my wife. Like, I don't know. That kind of stuff bothers me. But I understand why the conversation came up. But I also understand why Barry was seriously considering it, and I wouldn't have been upset. And I honestly don't think that Iris would have been like, oh, Barry, I don't even know if you're even truly a good person anymore. Like, Iris would have traded the whole of Central City for Barry. Are you kidding? Are you freaking kidding me? Iris would have been like, all y'all pack your stuff and get in the damn mirror because I need my man back. Like, she don't care. But anyways, I know that it's supposed to be against Barry's nature. But yes, we moved forward plot-wise a lot with this, with the death of Joseph, and with Eva now putting herself back into the limelight so she no longer has to hide. But obviously she's not done. You know, she said this was what she's accomplished what she had for that day. She specifically said Joseph's death was only one thing on her list. So Team Flash needs to get it together quickly, because she also said before she left Iris that she needed to fix the world or some nonsense. So God knows what twisted ideas she's got going on. I'm sure it probably involves something like turning everyone into mirror pod people or something. But I'm just ready for this to start to culminate to a point of how do we take Eva down, or how do we figure out, like, there's just a lot of balls in the air with the show right now. And are we really going to be able to get Barry's powers back, get the rest of Team Flash back, take down Eva, figure out what the heck's going on with Black Hole, possibly deal with the Bloodworks situation, because remember, Bloodworks' blood's still floating around Barry's apartment, and also figure out what the heck's going on with this Godspeed guy. Like, that's a lot of things to wrap up. I do think that some of these were already planned to go into season 7, but as I said, I worry that we're going to get a bunch of rushing in the last couple of episodes, and that never goes well. But this episode was good, guys. As I said, I really just mostly like seeing the plot movement as far as Eva and that whole story, and not having to see Carver again. So happy that Joe's back. And also, peace out to Danielle. She's probably, she's done for the season, it looks like. And all the best to her and her fam as they start on a new chapter themselves. So that's it for me, guys. Again, thanks so much for waiting on this particular episode. It is getting so dark, so I'm gonna end here. I've rambled enough. If you like this video, please click like, and if you want to see more from this geeky face, please click subscribe. Until next time, see ya.